Okay, so we're going to come back to perceptions.
How you balance the panels, perceptions, whatever.
Perceptions, yeah. And I mean, even what you said just now, when you said that camp, let's say, a group of people, Vivica's people at New York, is that where we are? Something like
Yes.
that. Or wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I definitely don't have a horse in the race, a dog in the race.
Right.
Dog in the fight? Horse in the race?
Either.
Something's going
Skin in the game.
Skin in the game. There we go. I'm not, because it seems like a lot of the noise is coming from the Latin side, but I don't know for sure. But something like the idea of balancing a panel and the idea that there are camps, right? This big division of people who are divided because I assume they just think dancing should be like this and dancing should be like this. And right now, the type of dancing that we are not really happy with is winning, thus implying that the panel is too heavily skewed in that direction. It's hard to piece apart what's really going on from a dance perspective.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, in the most simple way, you saw that I talked to Lena about the Rumble Walk, right?
I was sent the interview actually.
Right.
I've got some views on that, but I don't suppose.
We have to talk about that. But let's say, I mean, this is the interesting thing about having a standard, right? Is that and being subjective, as you're saying, is that like, if I'm of the Rumble Walk with turnout camp, and not just turnout, let's say I'm in the max turnout camp, right? You know, or something, and you're only in the 45-degree turnout camp. Well, we got to fight. and then suddenly the max turnout camp is winning, and I'm like, well, that's bullshit. This panel sucks, or this panel's imbalanced because they don't have enough 45-degree turnouters, right? And I'm you know, I'm just making some shit up here, right? But I mean that. Even though that seems silly, I hope that that's the problem, that it's just a disagreement on dancing, because if it's not, it implies all kinds of other stuff like, oh no, just as people, I don't like them, or there's more work, or, you know, it gets dirty if it's not about that. So at best, we have a disagreement about dancing in these camps, or, you know, anyway, so I throw that to you, and this is how I'm trying to figure it out. And because I think we all want big events and lots of people and everyone happy and one big community. And any sort of division is undesirable, I think. If possible, we can avoid it.
So is that a rhetorical question, or is it a statement, or do you want me to comment?
Yeah. So this is how I've been thinking about it, and this idea of camps and balancing panels and things. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's define camps. By camps, you mean political camps or groups of like-minded friends versus dance camps, which are which is
I mean,
you mean
groups of dancers form under a particular banner, teachers of similar styles or whatever. Yeah.
Honestly, with respect, I think that's naive. It's not naive that it doesn't exist. I think it's naive if you think it's based on the dancing. I don't think it is. And I'm sad to say that, genuinely, but I'm not going to sit here and say anything except what I perceive to be the truth.
Interesting.
I don't believe that for a second. I think it comes back to results problems. And let me explain why, Ikaika. I've got, certain facts to, I think, back it up. Let's talk about Trolls Bega, for example. I've never really taught trolls. A couple of lessons when they were amateurs. Again, they used to go to Tona, so I gave them a couple of lessons then. Then they went off and did the WDSF in Denmark, with Team Denmark. Then they came back. And as pros, they did ask, but I was teaching other couples, so I didn't think it was appropriate, really. I didn't really follow it up. Nothing against trolls in India. I think they're fabulous. It's not about that. But specifically, I was very close with Tona. We were married at one time. She's my ex-wife.
Tona is
Tona Niehagen,
a coach of...
Yeah. And she taught Kirill Belarukov and so on and so forth. Anyway, my point. Trolls came to the WDCAL World Championship. we taught Belarukov at that time, and we didn't teach Trolls. And Belarukov, I think, was favourite to win it. Trolls won.
This is in 2000.
Oh, I can't remember the year.
Sometime last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trolls won. Unexpectedly.
And you were working with the couple that was favored to win, but didn't win.
Yes. Okay. They were the form favourites, let's say. I think that's fair to say. And Trolls won it. So how did he win it? Well, he must have won it because he danced better, right? I assume. And at the same time, certain couples improve. I mean, when Ricardo and Yulia, before they won, they're not the tallest couple in the world.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Ricardo was surrounded by, if I go back to that time, Slavic.
Is it the same time as Trolls winning, or we're at a different time now?
No, we're in a different time now. Ricardo's, let's say, third in the pro.
Okay.
Michael and Joanna are the champions.
Got it.
Malatovsky, Sergei Surkov, Franco Formica, right? Some real talented
icons. Yeah.
Talented, tall dancers at that time. So as far as stature goes, and as far as at that time iconic status goes, Ricardo was kind of a little bit of the poor relation, I would say. I think that's fair to say. I'm not taking anything away from Ricardo.
Sure.
Quite the opposite. Over a period of time then, he and Yulia became unbeatable. They don't like that. So what do you do about it? In the dance world, people bitch about it. And they don't like it. Well, I understand they don't like it. The answer is produce something better. That's the answer. From my side, I don't choose any panels. I decline judging invitations more than I accept them. I'm very often invited to judge, and I graciously decline. This is the Embassy Ball. Brian and Christy McDonald I've known since I was literally born. And so I'll always judge for Brian and Christy. I judged Blackpool a couple of times. I declined Blackpool one time. I've always judged the International in the UK because Bobby Short, the originator with Elsa Wells, was one of my mentors. And because out of deference and affection and love for Bobby Short's memory, I've always accepted that. But there are a lot of competitions I get invited to adjudicate that I graciously decline. I dare say maybe the couples don't like if I decline. They'd probably, if you ask them, they'd rather I accepted, but I don't. It's not something I want to do.
People make a quick jump to say, like, well, any particular person who's not judging, they have friends. So, okay. So, I mean, they're not judging or they're not picking the panel, but they know the people who are.
Sure.
You know, and it's not unreasonable, right? It's one step away, right?
Robin and Christopher Short, they choose their panels. They have friends.
This is the International?
Yeah, International UK.
Yeah.
I'm not making any suggestions of anything other than total propriety, but they have friends. Blackpool chooses their panels. Every organizer chooses their panels.
Yeah.
If you run companies, you choose your staff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I've got a Celtic football club top on.
Yeah.
Right? I don't tell Rangers what to do.
No. Yeah.
Right? I'm a supporter of Celtic Football Club.
Well, this happens there, right? You have the ref giving out a.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I don't think there's anything happening in the dance world that's not been happening for half a century to a century. Overall, there have always been allegations of camps. And when I first started with Gaynor, we went to a lady called Nina Hunt, and there was the Nina Hunt Walter Laird camp. And we ended up going to Walter Laird. Well, we can get into judging Blackpool if you want. We can get into dance camps if you want. We can discuss anything that you want. What I see now is there's a difference with social media.
Yeah, it amplifies things.
And you get cluster groups who are noisier than the silent majority.
Yeah, yeah.
And they make a perception that they have grievances which are based on something. Nobody has ever shown me really what that something is. For example, if you talk about the Amateur League, and if you talk to Arunas Bazookas, there were complaints about the Amateur League. For about 6 years.
Yeah, we spoke about that years ago.
For about 6 years, we said to Arunas, retract the names and give us some copies of the emails. Do you know how many we got? 0.
The emails regarding
the complaints.
Oh, I see. Oh, the complaints that they were getting.
Yeah.
I see.
0. We were never furnished with one. Over years.
Interesting.
Yeah.